Hey all, it's this was a really rough episode to put together. I don't want to get into all the technical details, but there was supposed to be a camera on my face. Here's what some of that looked like before I stupidly forgot that I was already recording and hit record again, so there's no video now. Also, at some point during making this episode, I bumped the keyboard, the computer keyboard, and I changed the tempo of the project. So I had to go back through second by second and figure out where that happened, what the new tempo was, and just it was a real mess bringing this to you. So I hope you enjoy the behind the scenes because this was a nightmare. Hopefully next week's is easier. Cool. Here is the full episode with my piano playing, but not my face while I'm talking. I don't know if it really would have added much anyway, but a technical glitch was inevitable at some point. And here's what I got.
Got any requests? You're listening to Fix My Carcast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy, and this is episode 40. We got comedian and musician Keith Hebert tickling the ivories later, but first, housekeeping. This is the show where you pick what I say and how I say it. Pick a topic or prompt by donating to the GoFundMe, and vote on the gimmick by joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Join at the $5 or higher level and also get bonus episodes and behind-the-scenes footage. Links are in the description. Also down there, merch. You know you want some of that merch. You got to get some of that merch. Give some money, get that merch. Wear an ad for my show, please. No new donors this week. That's fine, I'm over it. The total is holding at $1,116. Also, when we get to $2,000, we unlock an automatic show gimmick, which is I will watch all the Fast and Furious movies back to back and then record my podcast at the end, no matter how tired I am. Fun fact, did you know that this whole podcast disappears when we hit $3,000? Good riddance, this show. Hope it doesn't get super popular the week it disappears. No new patrons? Shame. Time for our new segment, Topic Suggestion. Some donors have told me they struggle to think of a topic for me to cover on the show. So each episode, I will now give a topic suggestion. These are topics that I think I could easily talk about for a whole episode, though admittedly, I think the show is more fun when it's something I'm completely clueless about. So, something I could talk about is witchcraft. It's already spooky season, and I do magic with a K, babies. This surprises some folks because I'm like a big science and sci-fi nerd, but let's be real, those things intersect more than you might think. So there you go. Toss a coin to your Billy, and I will conjure up an episode about witchcraft. Sorry, I had some spicy pad thai. Checking in on the best city in the world. It wasn't actually pad thai, it was spaghetti with peanut sauce, but whatever. That's what I eat. That's why I have this podcast, so I don't go broke. Checking in on the best city in the world, based on which city listened to the last episode the most, and boo! We have a three-way tie between Westbrook, Maine, Old Orchard Beach, Maine, and Jay, Maine. Guess which state I'm in. Ties are broken by whichever city has listened to the most episodes, making our big winner Westbrook, Maine. Congratulations, Westbrook. Let it be known that your Pentagon, National Cemetery, and Ball Sellers House are the best in the world for 7 days. Last episode, I did a children's show about all of the samples used in the song Bigger by Propellerheads. Did anyone catch that all of the kiddie music in the background was actually xylophony covers of 3 Propellerheads songs? If you're not a Propellerheads fan, the lobby music from The Matrix, the main theme to the James Bond film On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and a song from the soundtrack to There's Something About Mary are all in there. You can hear the full songs over on my Patreon, and while you're there, check out a bonus episode about another pop culture mystery I'm trying to solve about Back to the Future and pornography. That one is not safe for kids. Again, that's all over on Patreon. Go check it out. Okay. Let's talk next week's gimmick poll. These are your spooky choices for next week's episode gimmick. They are: do a Freddy Krueger impression, incorporate 10 Edgar Allan Poe lines, our returning option, just re-released from the Billy Vault, doodle the whole time, and since we're on a theme here, there'll be spooky doodles, and record it in a graveyard, which is currently winning. Be sure to vote over on Patreon. The poll closes Thursday, October 13th at noon Eastern America time. All right. time for today's gimmick. Our big winner is play piano the whole time. The other options, wear a necktie, duct tape my mouth shut, and two-time vote getter but still loser, do an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice, all go back in the Billy Vault for 6 weeks. Sorry, Arnie. Of course, gimmicks don't start until housekeeping is out of the way, just in case any of them prevent me from sharing vital information. But now, we are entering the Gimmick Zone. From this point on, gimmicks are active and everything is improvised. Today's prompt comes from Tara for $15, and I've been asked to talk about revisiting media that you loved as a kid and experiencing it as an adult. Now, before I get into the topic, you should know that I cannot play piano. I am just winging it. I'm doing the best I can here, so please bear with me. And by the way, please appreciate the fact that I wrote a musical episode when I play piano this badly. But let's get into the topic. This here's a little ditty about nostalgia. Now, when you think about your childhood, you probably have happy memories. Maybe you have sad memories. But if you're anything like me, you remember the things you watched. I was such a TV kid. I'm trying to remember literally any song that I might know how to play. But, I watched a lot of TV. Hold on, try this one on for size. Hold on, nope, nope, I'm overthinking it. And this is about improvising. I watched a lot of TV as a kid. It definitely helped raise me when my parents couldn't. I feel like if I stick to the white keys, maybe we'll have a better time here. But I watched a lot of TV as a kid, and there were a lot of shows that meant a lot to me and got me really excited. I just apologize in advance that I will be trying to figure out the theme songs as I talk about these shows, but I don't know a lot of theme songs. I'm sorry to disappoint you. But in my youth, I watched a lot of cartoons, and a lot of those cartoons were very repetitive. And one of those was Inspector Gadget. This would be a great time to throw in the Inspector Gadget theme song, but I do not know it. Best attempt. I cannot play piano, which should be very evident right now. So I'm going to talk about Inspector Gadget because I just realized I have no way to see how long the show has been going. That's nice. That works. It's important to keep track of time. It's the only one I know. Don't get excited. So, Inspector Gadget did not hold up. I went in with a very... Was that DuckTales? I went in very, very excited to watch Inspector Gadget again because a lot of these shows were hard to find or very expensive to see again on DVD. But then the age of streaming hit. And I remember seeing all of Inspector Gadget and being like, yeah, I gotta watch that. I really want to learn. I really want to get the Inspector Gadget theme, but it's not in my head. It's Hall of the Mountain King with some, with a little extra flavor on it, but I can't. Nope. Not gonna happen here, folks. Again, please go listen to episode 35, where somehow I pulled off a musical, because I can't play piano. That's Mrs. Sponge the Musical. So yeah, Inspector Gadget did not hold up. The animation was very choppy, the jokes didn't really land for me, and every single one ends the same way. I hate to say that's also how I felt about Scooby-Doo. That's right, Scooby-Doo, also very repetitive. I mean, and let's be real, a lot of old TV, very repetitive. I mean, it's always an old man in a mask. You know, the professor has an idea to get off the island, and then Gilligan, he always screws it up. And yeah, Gilligan's Island is another one that did not really hold up. I loved that show as a kid. They would show reruns on TNT, but that's the cold darkness of nostalgia. Now, not everything fails to hold up when you're revisiting things you liked as a kid. What did I really enjoy? I'm blanking on it here. Erie, Indiana. If you've never seen that show, it's I need something eerie sounding. Erie, Indiana is basically X-Files for kids. I can't tell you if X-Files holds up because I did not watch that as a kid. I did watch it though, and I was kind of a little underwhelmed. Like, wow, this blew everybody's minds in the 90s. See, every TV show I'm about to talk about, my heart aches that I can't figure out what the theme song is. I feel like there's things that I'll like try to work into this episode just so I can play the music from them, but Erie, Indiana. Yeah, it's pretty good. This really does make it hard to talk. I feel like I'm making a bad podcast and a bad song at the same time. But yeah, Erie, Indiana, fun little show. It's these kids who live in a town where weird stuff happens. And I remember checking that out, and holds up. It's a lot of fun. You know, but when you talk about things holding up, there is a sense of politics. And I remember there were some very strange jokes about Democrats in Erie, Indiana that I was like, those went over my head as a kid. Or did they? That was weirdly hopeful chord. I was hoping for something a little more... Oh, God. So Erie, Indiana was one that held up. What's something else? There are things that, like, I didn't do as a kid, and this is off topic, but there are shows that I didn't watch as a kid, but that everybody loved, and then I tried to get into them, and I can tell that, no, they didn't hold up. But if you saw it as when you were a kid, it holds up. That's my challenge to you. If you've never seen Erie, Indiana, go check it out, and tell me if it holds up, because maybe it doesn't, but I'd like to think that it does. And by the way, I'm obsessed with trying to fit this into a song. Erie, Indiana, of course, aired on NBC. I just wanted to get something I know how to play into the show. But fun fact, this is totally off topic, but did you know that the NBC chimes are such because they're a G, an E, and a C, which stands for General Electric Company, who used to own them and maybe still does. I don't know what's going on now. So there's a little nostalgia from me to you. Is I was, you know, you'll never believe that I was the sort of kid who got a little obsessed with things, and they just would take over my life. And I couldn't stop thinking about them. And for some reason, just knowing about the history of NBC was a cool thing to me. I was a nerd. I liked SNL. Boy, talking about things that don't hold up. So I wanted to get into this because there are some things that never go away. SNL is one of them. That thing's been running for way too long. If you're a fan of Pokemon, you might be shocked to realize that show never ended. These are things I'm pulling out of my ass right now, but yeah, I think that show has been going in its current incarnation this whole time, just running. And so yeah, like certain things you revisit and you're like, oh, this isn't as good as I remembered. But then there are other things that are like, they're still going. This is one of my harder challenges. I'm so embarrassed that I don't really know how to play. And my heart just wants things to come out that feel like how I'm feeling. Here's something happy. See, no, not even that. Here's something sad. Oh, it's creepy. Anyway, I don't want to get off topic. But yeah, revisiting media. It's interesting that this is the topic suggested because that's literally what I did 2 episodes ago. When I was Kermit the Frog and talking about Batman Forever. And some things I revisit on a regular enough basis that it doesn't feel authentic. So yeah, if you listen to a Frog's reading of the film Batman Forever, I give you my insights into Batman Forever and how it is a delightful movie for a struggling bisexual and non-binary kid. But, you know, it's also silly. But the thing is, like, with some of these movies, I feel like I've probably rewatched Batman Forever at least once every, 6 years or so. Because I just love it. You know, same with Back to the Future. I watch that movie literally every year, so I feel like there is no revisiting it. There's just, this again. And, you know, the sensibilities of the world change. And so you watch things like that, and they don't hold up. Now, holding up can be 2 things. Holding up can be like, is it, you know, culturally and societally still on mostly the right path? And nothing ever will be. So we need to give up on that dream right now. That's something of an impossible mission. I know a couple here and there, folks. I can't promise everything will be good though, but I'm really rolling around in my brain things that I kind of sort of vaguely know the melody to. Happy spooky season. And yeah, sometimes you'll watch here I can give you one that's off topic, but the movie Used Cars. I think I saw that for the first time. Let's see, when did I do my Robert Zemeckis project? I did that 2013, I think. Yeah. And I saw the movie Used Cars, and I was like, oh, this is a fun little romp. And it's got a lot of really funny moments, but then I rewatched it again like 8 years later, and my gosh, I was blind to some really terrible stuff in the movie. Which I won't get into, but you can see it for yourself if you want. Sorry, it's hard to talk and play at the same time. Also, I hope this is going well. This is one of the more technologically complex episodes because I have to record the keystrokes. I need to be mic'd. I need to have a camera pointed at the keyboard. Hi, everyone. And I need to have my DAW recording all of the notes. Hey, which way to Jurassic Park? That was not a good Bugs Bunny. Sorry this one's light on the chat and also light on the good music, but yeah, I think it's good to revisit things. There's a bonus episode of the show, I believe, and you're never going to believe this, but it's the one that comes after the episode about Crash, the movie about people who are aroused by car crashes. And in the bonus episode, I talk about movies that are different. Like, every 5 years you can revisit and get something different from them. And rewatching Crash, like 10 years after I'd seen it originally, I did get some new things from it. And in the bonus episode, I talked about a movie that is just about the polar opposite of Crash, and that is E.T., which I am not going to butcher the beautiful score to that movie right now. But E.T. is a phenomenal movie because you can... What the hell just popped up on my screen? I better still be recording. You can watch E.T. every 5 years of your life and get something new from it. And that's a hard thing to do. But, like, I rewatched that movie from the perspective of each family member. Like, I look at it like E.T. is real. I look at it like E.T. is imaginary. I look at it as an emotional tale of a child who just needs someone he can count on. I look at it as an emotional tale of a child who just needs distraction. Like, there's so much in that movie. That's probably why Sir Richard Attenborough said that it should have won Best Picture instead of Gandhi, I believe it was up against, directed by him. And yeah, it's interesting to me. Like, that's a quality piece of art where every time you revisit it, you get something new. Though that doesn't apply to every movie, because I also feel like, you know, some movies I think are big blockbuster trash, but also there is more to appreciate when you revisit them. One I can think of is Independence Day. And even though it's just big, dumb, fun trash, and it's very jingoistic and rah-rah America, it is about the 4th of July no longer being an American holiday. And in fact being a day that the world comes together. And as a kid, it kind of went over my head that this is a movie with, like, Star Trek everybody come together sensibilities, but draped in an American flag on fire with Kid Rock thrusting his crotch at everybody. And that's a hard tone to strike sometimes, where, like, it's a movie that'll really push some popcorn. Oh, I can't play popcorn. I tried. What's with these black keys, man? As someone who just loves making music, but not, you know, knowing any music theory, you really do look at music sometimes and go, did we arrange it the best possible way we could? Why did we name them all letters? What's all this minor major stuff? Every time I try to get into music theory, I'm just like, nope. I'd rather just sit at the keyboard until something good comes out. And you know what? I'd like to do that for you right now. This is genuinely how I compose. I just go, that's neat. Where do we go from there? Oh, I like that. Hey! hey, cool. And then I go, all right, let's throw in a bass line. That's how I make my music. Is I go, hey, this stuff works pretty good together, and let's just add on to it. But people who can sit down at an instrument and make it sing, good for you. Good for you. This is why I need someone to play piano if I ever do a live musical episode. Will that be what I do for the $3,000 episode? No, it will not. Because the $3,000 episode is the one where the show ends. I got very scared that I accidentally hit stop on the keyboard, so whoopsie doodles. So, I don't know how long we've been doing the Nostalgia Tango, but it's still going on. The Nostalgia... I didn't know what to call this episode. Because I don't know what you call the kind of music that I'm making, except garbage. But you know, this is kind of what my show's about. Throwing randomness together and maybe something good happens. I bet if you listen to this episode back... Why, if you revisit this episode when you're a little older, and technically you're a little older right now than you were when you started the episode, maybe you'll find that some parts of it don't hold up, but other parts do. And that's sort of my philosophy of this show is let's throw some random things together. Not unlike how dice in D&D or tarot cards introduce a little randomness into things. And isn't that what all art is, really? You're just putting things together. And some people are certainly better at it than others, but who am I to say who's good and who's bad at it? But, I hope that as you've been listening to this, every once in a while I hit the right chord. But sometimes I don't. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Did that resolve? I don't know. I don't understand music terminology at all. Revisiting things. Yeah, I gotta say, having a piano in front of me is really kind of changing things for me. And now I'm trying to remember a really early song I wrote that I named after a friend because we were playing at a keyboard together. That was it. This is it. This is a little melody that I came up with a friend who wow, this is hard. When you're improvising, you don't have research right in front of you. But a friend of mine who used to go by the name Jared and does no longer, but I don't remember what the new name is. I don't use Facebook, and that has kept me out of touch with some people. Anyway, I hope I can find that friend again. Yeah, we're really revisiting memories now, huh? I'm supposed to be talking about a TV show, right? I keep hitting buttons that make me think that I have stopped the show, and it's really freaking me out. Yeah, nostalgia. Some call it a drug. Some say we've got too much of it, and I agree. I think we're all trying to chase how good things were. But maybe they weren't. You know, we're all just trying to get through, right? So yeah, maybe the Ninja Turtles, they gave you hope for a little bit. Maybe it was My Little Pony or Transformers. And maybe these are all just silly things designed to make money. But they give you hope for a little while. And hey, whatever you like right now, it's not gonna last, because nothing does. But what matters is, you know, you made something. And it is sort of interesting that a lot of art is still around for us to revisit. But time, you can't go back. So maybe it's the closest thing we have to time travel. Which is something I have a whole episode about if you want to go through the back catalog. Well, as always, keep playing, even if you don't know how.